have celestial thoughts and you're thinking, about heavenly things. And when we hear that chorus of angels there, we think Nun Sense. Yes, and today is Tuesday. That means Nun Sense, and we're very pleased to welcome on this, on Thursday's Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, Franciscan sister Christina Marie Neumann. She's out of Hankinson, North Dakota. Good morning, sister, and thank you for joining us here for Annunciation Radio's Nun Sense feature on this Tuesday.
Good morning. Thank you, Ron and Dave, for having me on this morning. So happy to be able to talk to you about the great things happening in the church this week. Yesterday was the Feast of Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, and that's really special. But then on Thursday, we have a feast that's really dear to my heart, which is Our Lady of Guadalupe. I took Spanish class in high school, and I think that just kindled that devotion even more. There's so many cool things about Our Lady of Guadalupe. She appeared to indigenous poor man in 1531, so that was like less than 40 years after Columbus landed in the Indies. And so there weren't a lot of people who had converted to the Christian faith yet at that time, but Juan Diego was one of them. And she appeared to Juan Diego as he was on his way to visit his sick uncle, and she wanted a church built there. And she sent Juan Diego to the bishop with this request, and the bishop sent him back and wanted proof that Our Lady was really appearing to him. And so she appeared again, and she had roses that she put in his cloak. And the thing is, it was December, which is not really a good time for roses. And also, they were roses from Spain. They were Castilian roses. But then when Juan Diego returned to the bishop with the roses, he opened his cloak, and a beautiful image of Our Lady was on the cloak. Needless to say, the bishop believed Juan Diego, and a church was eventually built. But there are so many neat things about Our Lady of Guadalupe. Besides that first miracle, I can't call it a painting because it's not really made with paint, but it's symbolic. Our Lady in this painting has a black band around her waist, which is symbolic that she was with child, because the Aztecs would wear a black maternity band. Another symbolic thing, which is cool, is her eyes are looking down rather than looking up, and that shows her humility and her humanity. The fact that the moon is under her feet associates with Revelation 12, with the apparition of the woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, but it also correlates with the Aztecs, who associated the moon with life and fertility, and Our Lady is the one through whom life was brought into the world, new life. Also, if you look closely, her hands are different color from each other. One is a lighter skin tone, and one is darker, and they are brought together in prayer, and that symbolizes how she wanted the Spanish people and the indigenous people to come together in prayer. So there's so many really cool things that are symbolic in that painting. With recent technology, satellite imaging has revealed even more that we didn't know before, and that's that her eyes actually reflect the images of certain people, namely Juan Diego and others. It's really amazing. Like, who in the 1500s would be able to paint something like that? It's pretty cool. And the fruits of this apparition are just as amazing. So, like I said before her appearance, there weren't that many Christians in the New World. But afterwards, millions of the native people converted to the faith. So within 15 years of her apparition to Juan Diego, 9 million estimated were baptized, which is incredible. She's honored as the patroness of the unborn, among other things, and that's largely because her apparition, which led to the conversion of so many, brought an end to the child and infant sacrifices that were being practiced by the people of that time. Our Lady of Guadalupe is really an amazing story, but also so beautiful, and it's such a dear image of Our Lady, and one that's very special to me. So thank you again for having me on the show.
Oh, thank you for coming. What a wonderful presentation, and a lot of food for thought there, sister. Appreciate that, Sister Christina.